Hi Aquarius, happy birthday. Welcome to February 2020. So we start this month with Mercury entering Pisces, Mercury going into shadow, and it will retrograde around the 16th, 17th of February. Pisces for you is of course your sector of worth, your sector of finance, money, value. And to have a little bit of retrograde motion here is no big deal because it will make you revisit your finances, reassess your spending, why you're spending what you're spending, your relationship with money. Most Aquarians, I think, could envision a world where money didn't exist, but it is what it is. And with Venus, the planet of money, moving into Aries, your third house, you can speak money into existence if you want to. You can speak love into existence if you want to. Venus in the third is quite delightful. And I think for a lot of you, Venus entering Aries and then the full moon in Leo on the 9th with Mars remaining in Sagittarius till the 16th, that fire sign energy is really going to support you romantically. In your passions, in the things that you want, the relationship that you crave, and it might not look the same as anybody else's, it might not fit the same standard, but it's still possible to have that relationship, Pisces, even if Aquarius, even if it's a little bit different, because that's who you are. Five of Swords, it would be better to just be very, very, very honest about who you are and what you want this month, whether it's career, whether it is love. Just admit it. You're probably not that happy where you are. In at least some area, I think you're feeling very unsatisfied. And there's no point whatsoever in pretending otherwise. This month is all about getting very, very honest. Two of Swords. Even if you're feeling very in your head and like you can't see the wood for the trees, the world, you are headed towards contentment. Saturn and Pluto, both in Capricorn. Two of Cups, okie dokie. Saturn and Pluto both in Capricorn. Saturn obviously is going to go into your sign soon. In the meantime, Aquarius, being very honest with the deeper side of yourself. And I know that you get a reputation for being completely detached and aloof, which is never really true. It is just that you have a different way of perceiving the connections that we have as humans. And in some cases, I think it's just because you guys are that little bit further ahead. And again, that's okay. The world will catch up. But for now, the Capricorn energy in the sky, particularly with Mars entering there, gives you drive to really get to know yourself and your inner desires and your inner wants. And I think for a lot of you, you want love. Two of Cups, the world. I think you want something big in love. I think you're ready for something possibly quite long-term. Three of Cups, Justice, and the Page of Pentacles. You want love, you want friendship, you want balance, you want time on your own, and you want time to be able to pursue your interests. I think that sounds fair, don't you? If you're dealing with an earth sign, I think you get frustrated with their limited perception of themselves, of their work, of your relationship. Their limited perception at the minute, that will pass. Try not to be too impatient. Strength, be patient. The Leo full moon, Aquarius, will expose partnerships in your life for what they are. So if you are romantically involved with somebody, or if you're dating somebody, whatever it is, I think it all becomes very clear around the full moon. Very clear, Ace of Swords, about what it is, particularly if it is that earth sign. You just have to be a little bit more patient. because the wheel is about to turn in your favor and you don't want to make a hasty decision that will affect it. The wheel is about to turn in your favor, particularly with business, with money, and you're going to want a partner who is supportive, who is a friend first. And if you are dating an earth sign, I think you just need to be very patient with them. I think they will pleasantly surprise you. If it is an earth sign that has been for a long time not growing, not developing, I think you'll probably take the full moon to cut it off, and you would be quite surprised at how quickly something, whether it is a person or an opportunity, something fills the time, something fills the void, something fills the loss. So Aquarius, it's looking pretty neat. If you're tempted to skip out on the birthday celebrations and you're single, I really wouldn't. I would go. The likelihood of meeting somebody through a friend, meeting somebody out and about is very likely. 3 of Cups and Justice. A lot of Aquarians with that full moon in Leo, particularly Aquarius rising, decide to get very serious with somebody in a way that you possibly never envisioned for yourself. Somebody turns your world upside down. Somebody in the next 12 months will turn your world upside down. And for a lot of you, it looks like marriage could be on the cards. Doesn't have to be a conventional one, could be quite different, but it seems to be something that solidifies. Justice here. And if you're involved in a legal proceeding, it probably will go quite well. At least it will be fair. 3 of Cups. But do not celebrate before the fact. Allow things to play out, because with Mercury retrograde, everything can be revisited. And I think for a lot of you, you are revisiting someone or something. I think if you're dealing with a Libra, there is potential for reconciliation if they are an emotionally mature person, or if they are in the financial spot to do so. And I think if it's a Leo, you guys are going to have a very I want to say sharp conversation, because everything seems very to the point with this Leo full moon. It's as if people are saying something very clear, which is wise, because when Mercury goes retrograde, people will not fully understand. They won't fully understand. Now, the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Pentacles is beautiful for financial abundance, financial luck, or at least that endeavor. Something is generated from the Leo full moon, a passion, a spark, an opportunity, a business opportunity, possibly with a Leo, I must say. And by the time the sun enters Pisces, Aquarius, you're full steam ahead in terms of making money. Very financially oriented. The new moon in Pisces on the 23rd is the perfect time to set some financial goals, manifestations, visualizations, whatever it is that you choose to do. It is up to you, but it is a wonderful time to get very clear about what it is that you expect from the universe in terms of your money and in terms of your self-worth and the value that you give to others. Oftentimes people don't realize, because Aquarians are so detached in nature seemingly, that Aquarians often feel on the outside looking in. And it's very nice to have some kind of connection, you know what I mean? You're still human. I'm surprised that the Sagittarius card isn't here. I think that there seems to be a parallel between your reading and theirs. But what I will say is that it probably will come up in the extended. The World and the Wheel of Fortune both have Aquarius and Aquarius energy in it. So you are coming in very strong on your own reading. Interested to see how the other signs come up in the extended, because we have Leo here very strongly, we have Scorpio, we have Taurus, and we have you. And we also have the Earth signs and Libra. Let's draw an animal spirit card. Oh, this is so you. This is the card that reminds me most of Aquarius, the zebra. Gorgeous. Love the zebra. The zebra is all about embracing your uniqueness, your unique self, and just dressing flamboyantly and showing up as you are. The Siberian tiger here and the zebra are very similar. I don't know if you know that. You can see maybe. The stripes. You've earned your stripes in some regard, Aquarius. And I think for a lot of you it's in career. I think you thought you were doing way worse than you're about to do. You're going to be really, really surprised. And this time, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, or even a month ago, a month, 2 months from now, you're going to be very impressed at how you've turned everything around financially, I think. Very impressed with yourself. And very impressed with somebody else. Now while you're here, I want to clarify the Two of Cups energy before we get into the extended reading. Because it's just so interesting and I'm nosy. 6 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Very reciprocal, very giving, something that feels very natural, that feels very fulfilling. Ooh, the Devil, a little bit obsessive. Yeah, you don't seem to mind. And the Emperor, very, ooh, possibly quite long term. Aries and Capricorn, very strongly aspected with that Two of Cups, but we'll clarify all of the cards in the extended, don't worry. What I will say, and I think I said that phrase in this reading, but I can't be sure. What I will say, Aquarius, is this looks to me in the beginning of February, in the first week of February, and forgive me because this is the 5th of February before this has gone up. This does look to me like someone that's quite in their own head, or at least a little bit paranoid about what the universe has in store. A little bit paranoid about what is actually being manifested in your life, because the last month or so, Aquarius, and maybe for some of you you're saying no, the last year has really felt quite testing overall, but you've passed. A lot of you are celebrating Valentine's for the first time with somebody where you feel like it is just, it makes sense in the way that you love, in the way that you express yourself. And sure, they might have different ways of doing things, but that's not necessarily the means to the end. You know what I mean? I think you're both equally obsessed with each other. And I don't think Aquarians generally like the word obsession, but because you don't associate it with freedom. But the 6 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups and the Justice card means that this is equal, so it's in some level kind of works for you. Whether it goes long term is very much dependent on whether or not this person or you has some addiction, some vice, something toxic, possibly alcohol, that could keep you separated. That will become very clear around the full moon if that's what that is. Mars will enter your sign towards the end of March, beginning of April, I believe. I can't quite recall the date, but it will be a time where you want to assert yourself very strongly into the life of somebody else, into the family that they have, or into a new business venture, into a new opportunity, and you will be very, very successful if you do. Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Pentacles. And the two aces here to me as well scream relationship, but they scream it in the Aquarian way, where there is something you're getting from it, but there's also intellectual rapport more than anything else. So let's get into your extended reading. It's going to be linked below on Vimeo. You can now rent videos from me on Vimeo. It seems to be doing quite well as a rented series. So I will... Oh, no, wait. Before we get there, I'm going to draw you an oracle card, because I've been doing this and it's fun. Inner Temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. So your heart's real desires, being your authentic self, and underneath we have dance with life. So there's a party right in the middle of your reading, Aquarius. It's very exciting. I like it a lot, and I will see you in the extended. Bye, Aquarius.